Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing a 2022 Chevy Silverado ZR2 to a 2022 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. And at the end of this comparison, we're going to decide which is the better truck to get, which truck is the best possible value. And with that being said, before we get in the comparison, I'm going to include a link to both of the dealerships' inventories in the description down below that originally supplied me with both of the trucks. Check out those dealerships. And then also, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into the comparison. Starting things off under the hood of the Trail Boss, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is actually very close to what you have with the 6.2 V8 that you can get optional in this truck, or the 6.2 V8 that comes standard in the ZR2. And well, speaking of the ZR2, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. So this is the engine I'd recommend you get if you're going to get a Trail Boss. The ZR2, this is the only engine that comes with the truck, and this is for a good reason. Both of them have 3.23 axle ratios. Now, going over the front end of the Trail Boss, you guys will notice here with the accenting there at the center of the hood, definitely gives it an aggressive, muscular appearance, right? And notice how the hood kind of flows throughout with the different lines and ridges. And then you can see here with the light design here, and then notice with the venting and accenting there off to the side. And then the whole front grille is blacked out. You got the Chevy bow tie that's blacked out as well with the Z71 badge down below. Red tow hooks there on either side. And yeah, it definitely has that, large, imposing, aggressive look from a front end perspective. And notice just a regular bumper there at the bottom. Now popping over to the ZR2, you guys will notice a lot of similarities. Got the 6.2L badge there on the side to flex that it has the 6.2 liter engine. And then you got the ZR2 badge. And then notice same thing here in the center of the hood with the accenting. So that carries over with both of the trucks. And then the ZR2 does have the flow tie where it's hollow and then has the red accenting there in the center. And then it has that accent light there next to the headlights and daytime running lights, right? But you'll notice there, ZR2 logo, still have a blacked out front grille. You've got tow hooks there on the front end that are in red, and then with the fog light off to the side. Now you do have bumper caps which you can remove, and then you do have a skid plate, and then the bumper's shaped to give this a little bit better front end ground clearance, and then a little bit of a better approach angle as well. So there is that benefit with the ZR2 over the regular Trail Boss. Now popping to the side, this Trail Boss has 20-inch wheels. You can get 18s. These tires are a little bit smaller than what you have on the ZR2. These are technically like 32s, I believe, because they're 265 millimeter, but very close from a tire perspective. You got a 2-inch lift with the Trail Boss, and you've got the Rancho shocks with the Trail Boss, which is a pretty good shock system. Z71 badge, notice the blacked out mirror, and then taking a few steps back, you can see here with the stance on the truck. And if you guys want, you could easily fit the 33s that are on the ZR2 on the Trail Boss if you wanted a bigger tire. Frankly, you could even fit 35s from what people have been telling me if you want a little bit more tire. And then there's a better view of the leaf springs in the back, and then also the Rancho shocks that come with the Trail Boss. You can see the tires really aggressive. Now, 18-inch wheels, 33s, that's the setup you get with the ZR2. You can't get 20-inch wheels. Wouldn't make sense for this package. And again, I've been told that you could probably fit 35s on this truck if you wanted to. You can't get them from the factory, though. But notice, just as aggressive from a tread pattern perspective. 2-inch lift, just like the Trail Boss, but you have Multimatic shocks. So they're the DSSV shocks from Multimatic. It's basically a 3-chamber system. They call it spool valve, where you've got multiple chambers of compression. And what that leads to is a Raptor feeling experience when you're off-road from a shock perspective with the absorption. I haven't taken this off-road, but I have taken a Colorado ZR2 off-road, and I can tell you the compression is amazing. Notice the leaf springs there in the back, and then you can see the Multimatic shocks a little bit better. But if you've driven a Gen 2 Raptor, this I assume would drive very similar, because leaf springs and then shocks and dampening feel very similar to what you'd get with the Gen 2 Raptor. And then notice we have the high ground clearance exhaust tips here on the back end, and basically supposed to help with the departure angle instead of having the exhaust go all the way out. And then you can see the full spare tire, just like the others. So it is a 33, if you guys are wondering. And then popping back over to the Trail Boss, notice we've got the tailgate drop down right there. Now, I looked at the payloads of both of these trucks and towing capacity, and it's super similar. Actually, that's the thing that's funny about Chevys. If you get the bigger V8, you don't necessarily get a higher towing capacity. It's pretty similar, and the payload does go down a little bit because it's a slightly heavier engine, but very similar in terms of the capability from a towing and payload perspective. Now it's got the bedliner Chevy logo, and then this one has the auto raise with the tailgate, which is definitely a nice feature to have. And then finishing things up here with the rear, you can see this looks similar to the pre-refresh version of the Silverado. Still the Trail Boss logo, but they didn't change a whole lot with the design from a rear end perspective. Still got the bumper steps. Still got these squished exhaust tips here on the rear end that are also supposed to help out with the departure angle. And then you can see the Rancho shocks there. Again, that's one of the key differences between the trucks is just, you know, the shock systems. Now you can see here with the key fob for the ZR2, notice remote start and then the tailgate drop down. And this is the tailgate that didn't want to go down. Sometimes it happens if you're on just the perfect amount of incline where the tailgate's like, nope, too much. But anyways, you guys will notice here with the protection there in the bed, you notice LED bed lights, got a full power outlet as well. So from a bed perspective, right, they're both just as practical. It says ZR2 instead of you know, Chevy or Silverado, depending on the different things they do at the ends of the bed. So, and then notice doesn't lift up. So this one doesn't have the auto raise function on it. And then you can see here with the rear end, notice taillight design super similar. And you guys can probably notice besides the ZR2 badge and besides the exhaust tips that aren't sticking out the bottom because it has the high ground clearance exhaust tips, it looks very similar to the Trail Boss. And to the untrained eye, right? If you don't have the ZR2 badge, people probably aren't going to know, oh, that's a ZR2. They're probably going to think, oh, is that a Trail Boss or is that just a Silverado, right? So you kind of do have that, but stance on both of them is great. It's kind of interesting with the slight differences. But popping to the interior here of the Trail Boss, notice we have the new door panel design with the double stack leather situation. I shouldn't say leather, but anyways, here are the seats. We've got the vinyl seats. So notice here, you've got the behind the seat storage. The thing I love about these seats is they're very easy to clean off. Like, you don't have perforations and they're black, and so you can just wipe them down. I wouldn't spray them with a hose, but you can just wipe them down, which is, you know, a benefit, I'd have to say. And then you can see the cup holders here, and then notice there we've got the vents with the USBs. And then popping in, space is amazing in the back of the truck, so that is not a problem. And of course, cup holder armrest. That's the most important part of any review. Let's pop back to the ZR2. So you can see we've got a little bit of a different design. So lighter in coloration, right? You got the gray instead of the black. And then notice with the different accents from the different trim pieces. And we have the neon yellow stitching that's specific to the ZR2. And again, has a cool appearance to it. Overall, on camera it doesn't necessarily look the best, but in person I think it looks a lot better because it definitely pops out quite a bit. And also, Bose sound system in both of them. I guess I should mention that. Now, here are the seats. Now, these aren't black, so they might show stains a little bit more if you actually stain the seat, but they're just as easy to clean off from what Chevy has said. So you can just wipe, again, don't spray them with a hose, but you can wipe them down pretty easily. And then you can see legroom and all that kind of stuff is the same because they're both, you know, full-size Silverados. Notice with the cup holders, heated seats, vents, USBs as well. And then, of course, again, cup holder armrest, right? Always got to have that whole setup. And you can see the padding there on the seats. It's actually really nice. Popping back to the front of the Trail Boss. You can see here, again, got that double stack design with the door panel. Got all of the window controls right there. And then you got the mirror adjustments. And there's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. Another speaker for that Bose sound system. And then here are the front seats. Notice, again, with the padding and stitching, and then it's all black. Then you got your power adjustments, pedal layout down below. And then notice we got our light control, and then we've got our drive line select and drive mode select. So this has 4-wheel auto as well as 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low parking brake. And then you can see the blacked out trim there off to the side. But going from that back over to the ZR2, as you guys can see with the door panel. Look at the design there on the door panel. Definitely looks cool from an aesthetic perspective, and the gray trim just up above. Memory seats. I think you see with the mirrors. And then cool look with the new door handle design. And again, double stack with the gray contrasting the neon stitching. Then again, speaker for the Bose sound system. ZR2 right there. And then here are the front seats. So a little bit more stylized, right? In terms of the contrast with the colors from a material standpoint. And then again, that tread pattern in the center, which looks really cool. And then notice power adjustments. And then you got the pedal layout, parking brake. And then notice driveline select is the same. Drive mode select, tow haul mode, all that fun stuff, and light controls. Again, 4-wheel low as well as 4-wheel auto and 4-wheel high with the truck. And this one also has the heads-up display. It's another thing to mention. Steering wheel is power adjustable. And, now let's pop back into the Trail Boss. So you can see the startup here with the full digital dash, right? And here's the steering wheel. Notice it's just all blacked out. So you got the padding all around the steering wheel, and then you got the stitching there on the center portion. And you can see the controls there for the center tach, voice command controls, phone controls. Plastic paddle shifters in the back. There are radio controls on the back as well. It's got cruise control, heated steering wheel function. I'm not sure if this one had the heated steering wheel credit or not. Some of them do. But anyways, that's the steering wheel section. Going to the gauge cluster. As you can see, full digital gauge cluster. Resolution's great. It looks fantastic. Got the different drive modes, right? Normal, tow haul. And then you've got off-road. That's it. I thought it was funny. It's like normal mode, off-road mode. That's it. There's no in between. There's no sport mode, nothing. So, but overall, I think they did a good job. You've got that center screen, which you can go through a few different menus with that as well. And notice fuel range on that. I thought that was pretty impressive, despite the fuel economy that said it was like 13 around 10 or 17 on the highway, something crazy like that. Anyways, here's the infotainment system. So you've got a massive screen, tons of different camera viewpoints with the Trail Boss. And this is one of the things that I love about just the new Silverado in general is their camera system. Resolution's fantastic, fills up the whole screen, and because of those tire shots and everything, you could pretty much spot yourself off-road. I think this would be the only full-size truck that I'd feel comfortable with going through certain, off-road obstacles by myself, right? So I think that should be something to take into consideration for other automakers to do camera systems similar to what Chevy's doing. Touchscreen, super responsive, and then you have like the split screen off to the side. Pretty simple setup. Got that clock there as well, and I think it looks nice from an aesthetic perspective. And anyways, got the home button down there. Of course, they always got to double down on that. You've got your lane departure, parking sensors, auto stop, start, tailgate, drop down, and raise up. Notice the arrow points both ways. That's how you know if it drops down and raises. Hazard lights, stability control, hill descent control, and then windows all go down. Then you can see the wood trim right there. Trailer brake controls. Then you can see the dual zone climate controls. Just heated seats for the front. You guys will notice no locker buttons in this. It's automatic. It's an electronic system, so it just does it for you for the rear locker. It decides when you should have your rear end locked, basically. Now it's got that new shifter there in the center console area. I think it looks great. Definitely feels like you're doing something substantial when you shift into gear. So I think that's, something positive. And then here's the center console. It's got the nice padding there on the top. Wireless phone charger. And then notice the little storage tray. Storage space is pretty good in the center console. It's one of the nice things about full-size trucks. Got the dual glove box. Pretty cool setup with that too. Love how it kind of like pops up. It's like bling. And you can see there with the padding on the dash. Then we do have a power setting window. Got the camera, or no, this one, sorry, just has not the camera mirror, but just the regular mirror with manual dimming. My bad. Now here's a window sticker for this 2022 Trail Boss. So if you want to tell if it's the new body style, if you can't tell by the exterior styling cues, it'll just say Trail Boss. It won't say Trail Boss LTD. But you can see all the standard equipment with the Trail Boss itself, right? Freeze frame if you're going to read through all of that stuff. But the big thing is to look at the base prices with both of them. So on the Trail Boss, right, $54,000 is the base price before options. Now this one's loaded up Trail Boss from interior perspective. So you can see the total price, $63,000. Now, popping back over to the ZR2. As you can see, we've got the full digital dash, just like the Trail Boss. So first off, notice with the steering wheel, similar design, actually the same design, right? It's all dark, all blacked out. Notice controls are all the same. Still got the paddle shifters, still got the radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, still got the cruise control heated steering wheel button. So that is all the same. Turn signal, windshield wiper stock. No difference with that. Same thing here with the gauge cluster. No difference. Everything is the same in terms of the functionality on it. Now, a key difference is going to be with the drive modes. There is a difference there. So notice right now when we're in the normal mode, right? And then you've got the tow haul mode, which is the same and has cool animation. But notice we've got a terrain mode now. So you have like your regular off-road mode and then you have terrain mode. The difference is the terrain mode's kind of for like rock crawling. Here's the infotainment system. Again, same exact setup. Same exact setup from a camera perspective too. So you've got the camera views all over the truck, wheel shots, all that kind of stuff. So same thing with this. I'd feel comfortable taking this off-road and basically spotting myself with this camera system. So Chevy, if you want me to highlight that, send me a ZR2 or Trail Boss. I don't care. And I'll show people the magic of the wheel shots. But yeah, great infotainment system overall. Notice we've got a lane departure, parking sensors, auto stop, start, tailgate, drop down, not raise up, just drop down, hazard lights, stability control, hill descent control, rear locker, or you can lock the front and rear at the same time. Huge differentiating factor, the fact that you can choose when it's locked and you have a front locker. That is another big thing with the ZR2 over the Trail Boss. That electronic locker with the Trail Boss is, well, not my favorite. I'd rather have a button that I can press, right? And that's just, you know, my personal opinion on that matter. I know some of you might like the truck doing it for you, but I don't know. I've done enough off-roading that I know when it should be locked. Anyways, heated cooled seats, dual zone climate. So you have cooled seats in this, whereas the Trail Boss does not. So that's another thing to consider. Same shifter. So you still have that cool feeling when you shift it in and out of gear, which is great. And then notice here with the cup holders, center console, the stitching there on the top again in the neon stitching. You can see the wireless phone charger. And then same exact storage space situation there as well. Then we got that funny dual glove box set up. I don't think I'm ever going to get, I think like 50 years from now, I'm still going to be like, remember that time Chevy did that weird looking glove box? That'll be me as an old man. And then you can see the bottom glove box. And then popping up to the top, we do have a sunroof. It's another key difference. Power setting window, which both of them have. Camera mirror. That's the other big thing. This one has the camera mirror, which I'm a huge fan of from a practicality standpoint. Now, window sticker for the ZR2. So you guys can see the standard equipment. So again, feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read all the standard equipment shenanigans with the truck. But the big thing here with the ZR2 is going to be the starting price and then the total price, right? So starting price on the ZR2, as you can see, $66,000. Then total price almost $71,000. So there is a $7,000 price difference. But if that Trail Boss had a 6.2 V8, it'd probably be only like $5,000 for the price difference. And that raises a pretty big problem because the ZR2 is obviously more capable off-road. It has cooler looks, interior and exterior, and frankly, it has more features, right? It had cooled seats, it had the camera mirror, it has the sunroof, right? It's got more features, and it has the terrain mode, and it has front and rear lockers, right? $5,000, right? I understand $5,000 is a lot of money, but when you're already spending almost $70,000, $5,000 isn't really all that much. So here's my personal opinion. If you're going to do a lower spec down Trail Boss and you're just buying the truck for looks, you're not going to take it off-road, that can make sense. If you're actually going to take the truck off-road, well, you're probably going to want to spec out your Trail Boss to have the 6.2 V8, and you're probably going to spec it out with a few more options if you're going to do the 6.2 V8, and the next thing you know, you're so close in price to a ZR2, you might as well buy the ZR2 because it's going to have better resale value because it's a ZR2. It's not a Trail Boss, right? It's the cool Silverado from Chevy, and it's just going to have more off-road practicality. It's got the better shocks. And so I'm going to give this win to the ZR2, frankly. I think it's just a better value, even though it's more expensive, and even though a lot of people are talking crap on it because it is as expensive as a base model Raptor. I don't really care. Comparing it within the brand, it's actually a really good value with how they've placed the Trail Boss from a price point perspective. And at this point, I don't see a point to purchase a 6.2 Trail Boss. And let me know what you guys think.